Hi everyone, it's Nishti here, and today I want to talk about type 1 diabetes because I work with children who've got type 1 diabetes. So they don't produce any insulin. The pancreas, for unknown reasons, stop producing insulin. So they're relying on injections for the rest of their lives. I've been very fortunate to work with people with type 1 diabetes. It's been an eye-opener, because it's a chronic condition, you see, and it's not just physically difficult but also emotionally having to deal with such a diagnosis, especially in those who are diagnosed very young. I mean, I've seen a 9-month-old baby diagnosed with type 1 diabetes. So today I just actually want to show you what I'm wearing today. It's something called a Libre. And it basically tells me what my blood sugar is. So I just have to swipe. So my blood sugar is 5.3 this morning. Now, people with type 1 diabetes have to do a blood sugar. So they prick their finger and then they get a blood sugar, and it tells them what their blood sugar is, and then they act accordingly. And it can be very hard having to do all those finger pricks all day long, every day for the rest of your life. So this is a new tool that's come out to help them. And you know, I've worked in diabetes for 5-6 years now, and I'm really pleased for people with type 1 diabetes because of this and because of lots of other things that are out on the market. It's just making it easier for them to manage their condition. So for me, obviously I'm not diabetic, but I like to play around with this and see what happens when I eat. And when I'm hungry, it actually goes down till about 4.2. Now a blood sugar below 4 is considered low. Obviously this is not 100% accurate. There's nothing as accurate as a finger prick, but it's still better than nothing. So in the morning I'm never really hungry, and actually my blood sugar says that as well. Whereas at lunchtime I tend to go lower, because that's when my body wants more food. Now, for you guys who know me, you know I'm not a big fan of cereal for breakfast. I see what it does to people with diabetes, whether it's type 1 or type 2, or even women with gestational diabetes. When you have cereal, you go up and you drop. Your blood sugar levels drop and you feel hungry at 9-10 a.m. So I am not an advocate for cereal. For you guys who know me, you're probably smiling. So I call it the cereal effect. When we have cereal, we go up, we drop down. That's called the cereal effect. And most of us will have this, whether we are diabetic or not, because in the morning we are insulin resistant, meaning that insulin is there, but it's taking some time to work, and really insulin is what's going to bring your blood sugar levels down. But because in the morning we got stress hormone working, your body's under a lot of stress. So if you're there filling yourself up, today I'm going to try this porridge, because I've told a dear friend that I will show her that the way forward is not having sugary porridge for breakfast, particularly if you're trying to lose weight. You don't want to start your day with just one food group. That's why I've developed the 1-2-3 healthy eating approach, which is all about mixing your food group, protein, carbohydrates, vegetables, fat, in the right order depending on who you are. Most of us just have one food group for breakfast. Why? Why do we always start the day with just one food group? I wonder if the food industry has had an effect on that. I will let you think about that. So it's actually not, I don't believe it's healthy to just start with one food group in the morning, because you're putting a lot of pressure on your pancreas that releases insulin. When you just have a meal, really high in carbs, it's like, I see it visually, I see it as you're punching your pancreas first thing in the morning, and it doesn't like it. That's why you're hungry at 9-10 a.m. That's why you're hungry at 9-10 a.m. because you're giving your body a substantial start to the day. So let me try this cereal, or this porridge thing, which looks so healthy, you know, high in fiber. Look at that, high in fiber, making oats awesome, and it just looks beautiful, doesn't it? But the carbohydrate in here, and it's such a little pack. I mean, I have to eat probably 3 of these to get full. It's 44 grams of carbohydrates. Now that's equivalent to a sandwich, very thick slices of bread, not the thin, 2 thick slices of bread. And then it's also got a lot of sugar in, okay? So not just carbs, but also a lot of sugar. So let's see what this does to my blood sugar. Obviously I'm not diabetic, but it will still be interesting to see what happens. And I'll compare this to what I would eat, which is a 1-2-3 breakfast. So let's compare a carbohydrate only meal to a 1-2-3 healthy eating meal. Okay, so I basically just had to add hot water, which is nice and easy, right? So I always say to my clients that as quickly it is for you to prepare your breakfast, that's how quickly it is for your body to break down that food. Let me say that again. As quickly it is to prepare a meal, whether it's breakfast or not, that's how quickly it is for your body to break that down. Do you think that's really healthy? The more work you put into a meal, the more you have to combine it and think about what you're putting on the plate, the more mindful you are, the better work you're giving to your body. You're actually giving your body some work to do, breaking down lots of different food groups. I call this foodicize, food exercise. So cereal is like, I believe, is like walking to the gym and doing 5 kilos in one hand and walking out. Whereas if you combine your food groups, depending on who you are as a person, what fits you, then it's like walking to the gym and doing quite a few machines, right? You do the leg press, you do some weights, you do... What do you think your body would enjoy more and would benefit from more? More machines. And that's the same with the food groups. Give your body some more food groups, some foodicize, food exercise for short, foodicize. Something I've developed and I think is a funny idea. And I hope you understand where I'm coming from with this. Give your body foodicize. Don't just give it one machine. So I'm going to eat this now, and in 1 hour's time, I'm going to do another blood sugar, and I'm going to monitor myself throughout the day to see how I feel. Okay, so it took me 5 minutes to eat, and I'm already hungry. I'm already hungry. Like, no jokes. Like, I'm really already hungry. Anyway, we'll wait an hour and see what my blood sugar does, and I'll see how I feel. If I have to eat a mid-morning snack, which I never really do, then that's just how it is. Okay, so I've just done my blood sugar. It's an hour later. I'm 4.7 and I'm dropping down. And can you see that peak right there? Can you see that? My blood sugar went up and then it went down. And that's why I'm hungry already. After the porridge, it hasn't even been 1 hour and 10 minutes. Luckily, I've actually brought some food because, as you know, I was hungry just as I finished my breakfast. But this explains everything. Look at that. Incredible. The cereal effect shown on this Libre style meter. You can try it yourself. One day do the porridge and one day try the 1-2-3. Tomorrow I'm going to show you what my 1-2-3 breakfast does. Okay, so day 2 where I'm trialing a 1-2-3 breakfast. I'm going to do my blood sugar now. So I showed you that when you have porridge, your blood sugar goes up and it drops. That's why I was hungry like 30 seconds after I had the porridge, and particularly 1.5 hours afterwards. So I've got my Libre and I'm gonna swipe. Remember, I'm wearing a sensor underneath my arm and I'm 5.1, okay? Now, I am an advocate for mindfulness, for paying attention to your body, and for eating 1-2-3. Basically mixing your food groups. As I said to you, give your body some foodicize, some exercise, first thing in the morning particularly. If not, you just find that your blood sugar will rise. And this is for you guys, non-diabetics and diabetics, type 1, type 2, gestational diabetes, it's all the same. So, it's all the same in the sense that it spikes your blood sugar, not that they are all the same condition. So, here we are. I'm having a 1-2-3 breakfast, olive bread with some Baby Bell cheese and an avocado. So 1 is your carbohydrate, 2 is your protein, 3 is your vegetable. And I always really 90% of the time I start my day like this. Sometimes I'll have avocado on toast, so not necessarily having protein, or I used to have eggs on toast, but I can't tolerate eggs anymore. Now I'll save that for another video to explain what happened there. Or I'll have peanut butter on toast, that's again protein, right? So I'm not saying every single day have protein and carbs and vegetables, but I'm saying mix your food groups, never have just one food group. So I've done my blood sugar and I'm gonna see what it does later on today. Remember, yesterday I went up and I dropped. It'll be interesting to see what happens today. And you trial for yourself. You don't need a blood glucose meter. You just need to pay attention to your body, listen to your body. How do you feel? One day try porridge, one day try Weetabix, one day try avocado on toast, one day try a bacon sandwich, or one day try an egg sandwich. You don't know till you've tried. Okay, so it's an hour after my 1, 2, 3 breakfast. So let's do a blood sugar. Check glucose. 6.1. But just look at the beautiful graph here. There is no peak. Can you guys see that? It's not very clear, is it? There we go. Unlike the graph that we had yesterday, it was so profound. It was like the pyramids. Here it's just a flat line. And this is basic. This was my intention. My intention was to show you that when you eat a breakfast or lunch or dinner, combining your food groups, then your body is going to love you, and it's going to show that through how your blood sugar levels are stabilized. Really, it's so healthy for you. It will reduce your risk of diabetes. It will keep you fuller for longer. It will help you to maintain healthy weight, and it's going to help you to avoid those lows and highs, which really can affect our mood as well. So that's Nishti here, showing you with the use of the Libre what a 1, 2, 3 breakfast does to your blood sugars in comparison to a carb only breakfast. And I trialed porridge, so have a go yourself. As I said, you don't need to measure your glucose levels. You could if you wanted to. Just listen to your body and see what it tells you. Listen to how you feel. I would love to hear from you. Please subscribe to my channel. Click the link below if you want to leave a comment. I would love to hear from you. It's Nishti here, specialist dietitian. Now, I forgot to obviously mention for you guys out there with type 1, type 2 gestational diabetes, this applies to you as well. When you start eating 1, 2, 3, you'll find that your blood sugar levels will be more stabilized. In the mornings is where you tend to see a high, whether you're type 1, type 2, you've got gestational diabetes. Most people have that high for breakfast. And I've just spoken to a lady who was asked to go onto medication. She's got gestational diabetes. She's pregnant with diabetes. And we have changed her over to a 1, 2, 3 breakfast. And I know it's basically going to mean that we can hopefully, fingers crossed, avoid her having to go on to metformin, which is a medication. And this is what I love to do. I love to use food as medicine. For those of you with type 1 diabetes, if you're having cereal, you go high and then you probably stay high, you drop low. A 1, 2, 3 breakfast will help you to stabilize your blood sugars. And for those of you with type 2, it's the same principle. So I just wanted to mention you guys out there, because really it's not just for the diabetics, it's for the non-diabetics as well, where 1, 2, 3 can make a huge difference.